Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Richard Herbert, who's CEO at Angus Energy. How are you today, Richard?
Yes, good morning, Zak.
Right, I haven't spoken to anyone from Angus for quite a while, and maybe one or two people are out of the loop as well. Maybe you can tell us what's going on and actually what Angus does at the moment.
Sure. Well, Angus Energy operates the largest onshore gas field in the UK, which is called Salt Fleetby in Lincolnshire. And we also have a number of small oil properties in southern England. And I took over as CEO from George Lucan in March of last year. And since then, we've focused on establishing good, reliable operations at Salt Fleetby. And we've been very successful with that. And also with starting to bring our oil properties into production. And in June of this year, we brought the Brockham field back online with a single well producing at the moment. So current production at Salt Fleetby is between 6 and 7 million cubic feet a day of gas and about 110 barrels a day of condensate. And we're producing somewhere in the range of 30 to 40 barrels a day of crude oil from Brockham. And
so it seems to be the market is behaving as if you're not really, you're an explorer or a developer, not actually a producer. Is that part of the job at the moment?
Well, obviously we're in a difficult period with the change of government that's just happened in July in the UK, and a lot of people have seen a lot of very negative press sentiment in the press about the attitude of the new government to our domestic oil and gas industry and the increase in taxation, the removal of capital allowances, which has been promised, and on top of that, increasing hurdles for planning, for any kind of planning applications to do work on drilling, etc. So, I think that's the backdrop that all of our sector is suffering a bit from. What I would say for Angus is, we have options to spend more capital at Salt Fleetby and drill more wells. We'd like to do that. But we don't have to. And so we are going to sort of play a bit of a waiting game. We have applied for planning permission to drill some additional wells there. And if we get that, and if the changes in taxation are not too onerous, then obviously we can go ahead and invest. But if not, then we don't invest. But we've got a very robust asset today. We've got a lot of legacy tax protection, which I don't think the government would take away. They might take it away from future development, but not from historical development. So I think we can weather this storm. And of course, it's making us think seriously about whether we want to stay as a UK-based company investing in the UK, or should we be looking at assets overseas?
It's one of those things that you already did the hard graft in terms of getting your projects approved and up and running. So as you are, unless there is a U-turn from the government, which obviously you never know about these things, you are home and dry in a way that maybe other companies are not.
Yeah, obviously no one likes the levels of taxation that we are under. We have to remember that a sort of windfall tax was put on at the time when the Ukrainian war started, and commodity prices have come back down, and the tax has gone up even higher. And so this is not sustainable. The whole sector is going to stop investing, and the tax take from UK oil and gas is going to dry up. But that's a problem for the government to deal with. We're in a good position because we have a lot of legacy tax cover from previous investment, and that means that we can still produce and generate positive cash flow into the future.
So what are the main drivers at Angus? Is it more of the same, really, with the projects you have?
I think we're very much focused on growth, Zach. So, and in the short term, there's sort of two areas that we're really focused on. One is, what else can we do, particularly at Salt Fleet, because our oil fields are small, and even if we bring on more production there, it doesn't change the bottom line very much. But at Salt Fleet, we have opportunities to increase production. The first thing is a booster compressor that is going to be installed starting later this year and into early next year. It should be operating by February, March time in 2025. And that booster compressor will allow us to pull harder on the wells, increase production in the short term, but also run the field down to a very low pressure, meaning that we can sort of maximize the reserves we get out. So that's the first sort of step in our growth agenda. And as I said earlier, we're also looking at the potential to drill some new wells or potentially work over one of the existing wells that's not currently producing. So job number one is to sort of get the maximum value out of Salt Fleet B. It's a very big, it's a very good asset, and we've got a new processing facility there, and we've got many years of production to come from that. The second thing we're doing, and we've stressed this to the market, is we are looking to grow inorganically. We are looking domestically. We're looking in the UK, but as I said earlier, we're sort of holding off a little bit on that until we see what the policy of the new government will be towards our sector. But we're also looking at opportunities internationally, which we can then use to grow the company and use our very strong skills that we have as an operating company, and those of us in the management team have a very long history of international oil and gas operations. So that's our focus at the moment.
Well, we look forward to more conversations like this regarding your company. In the meantime, Richard Herbert, CEO at Angus Energy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zach. It's been a pleasure talking to you.